Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the Dutch financial support system for children. We're going to give you a full roadmap guiding you through every single stage, from the day your child is born all the way through their university years. So, you're moving to the Netherlands with your family. That's amazing. But let's be real, navigating a totally new country's financial support system can feel, well, a little overwhelming. But don't you worry, we're going to break it all down and make it super simple for you. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to follow the timeline of your child's life. We'll kick things off with the foundational benefits for the little ones, move through the teen years, tackle the big changes at 18, dive into higher education, and then zoom out to see the whole picture. Okay, section 1, the building blocks. Those first few years are just so important, and the Dutch system is really designed to give your family a strong financial foundation. It does this with 3 key types of support. Let's get into it. First up is the cornerstone of the whole system, the kinderbijslag, or child benefit. Now, the key word here is universal. It means it doesn't matter how much you earn. If you live or work in the Netherlands, you get this. Simple as that. And what's really neat about the kinderbijslag is that it's not just a flat rate. It actually grows as your child gets older. You can see here you get an automatic pay bump when they turn 6 and another one when they turn 12 to help cover the costs as they, get more expensive. Okay, so on top of that universal benefit, there's another layer of support you might be eligible for. It's called the kindgebonden budget. This one is means tested, which just means it depends on your income. It comes from the Dutch tax office, the Belastingdienst, and it's designed to give a little extra help to families who need it most. So how do you know if you qualify? Well, it all comes down to your household income and what you have in savings or assets. And it's important to know the system is also built to give an extra boost to single-parent families and families with teenagers. Now, this next one, for any expats planning to work or go to school here, this is an absolute game changer. It's the Childcare allowance, the Kinderopvangtoeslag. It can cover a huge chunk of your daycare costs, which makes juggling work and family life so much more manageable. So here's how it works. The government sets a maximum hourly rate that they'll help you pay for. And get this, for families with a combined income under around 56,000 euros, the government subsidy can cover up to 96% of that cost. 96%! That is a massive help. All right, let's fast forward a bit. Your kid is now a teenager. They're starting to want a little more independence. And you'll see the Dutch support system kind of shifts right along with them. It starts to focus more on helping them build that independence. Hey, remember that automatic increase in the child benefit we talked about? Well, it happens again when your child turns 12. This little bump is specifically there to help with the rising costs of secondary school. Things like textbooks, school trips, the whole shebang. And here is some really good news, especially if your teen is eager to get a part-time job. A few years ago, they changed the rules. Now, kids who are 16 or 17 can earn as much money as they want from a side job, and it will not reduce your family's child benefit by a single cent. Okay, this next part is so important to understand. In the Netherlands, turning 18 is a massive deal, financially speaking. People actually call it the administrative cliff, because it's this sudden, sharp moment where financial responsibility shifts from the parent directly onto the young adult. And this slide just lays it all out. The day they turn 18, poof, the child benefit and child budget that you, the parent, were receiving, they just stop. And in their place, new adult responsibilities pop up, like having to get their own health insurance. But at the same time, a whole new world of financial support opens up directly to them. All right, let's tackle the question that I know is on a lot of your minds. How in the world do you pay for higher education in the Netherlands? We're talking university, vocational schools, all of it. The whole system is called studiefinanciering, and it's all handled by a government agency called DUO. The easiest way to think of it is like a customizable financial aid package. Students can pick and choose different parts to build a support that they need. This chart gives you a great visual of the maximum amount of support a student can get each month. And notice that big difference between living at home and living away. That higher amount for living on your own is, of course, to help cover things like rent and utilities. So let's break down that total amount. It's really made of 4 parts. You've got 2 grants, a basic one and a supplementary one. Think of these as potential gifts from the government. Then you have 2 optional loans that, yes, do have to be paid back eventually. And here it is. The single most important thing to understand about this system. Those grants we just mentioned, they're called performance-related because if the student actually graduates within 10 years, that money transforms into a gift. they don't have to pay it back. It's a huge incentive to finish your degree. And on top of all that financial aid, students also get a free public transport product. They can choose which one fits their life better, a weekday pass that's perfect for commuting to class, or a weekend pass that's great for visiting family or exploring the country. Okay, so we have looked at every piece of the puzzle. Now, let's just zoom out and take a look at the big picture. How does this all fit together to support a child from day one all the way to becoming a young adult? This timeline really illustrates it perfectly. The Dutch system is like a financial scaffold that's built around your child as they grow. It starts with broad support for the family, and then it gradually shifts to giving the individual the tools they need to become independent. So, why does all this matter? What's the big idea here? Well, at its very core, this system is all about equalizing opportunity. The goal is to make sure that a family's bank account doesn't dictate a child's access to good care, a great education, and a real shot at financial independence. So we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. When you have a system that invests so much and so methodically in its next generation, how does that shape the entire country's attitude toward things like student debt, independence, and the role of government? It's a fascinating question, and it gets right to the heart of the Dutch social contract.